Hey guys, Tyler here with Revvin Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. We don't normally talk like this. I'm not going to be sharing any specs or anything like that. I just really wanted to come before you guys and talk to you guys about some lightweight sports cars that I really think are quite cool, and some that are coming up that I know a lot of you guys are going to be really excited about, and that we've been waiting for a long time. So, I've been reading a couple articles, and I've honestly been looking into getting a Mazda Miata. I think the Mazda Miata is pretty cool, and actually the guy that edits these videos, Josh, drives a Mazda Miata as his daily. That kind of is what made me fall in love with it. Actually, kind of a surprising, funny story. I'll just be straight up with you guys. I didn't like Miatas before. I started looking into them just to see why I didn't like them, and I ended up falling in love with them, with the Miata themselves. And I ended up calling up Josh because we talk nearly every day, or we talk every day actually, and I was like, hey Josh, I think I want to buy a Mazda Miata. And I always pass by stupid decisions with him, and he's always tells me like, oh, that's so stupid, but anyways, I call him and I'm like, hey Josh, I want to buy a Mazda Miata. And he's like, no way, I'm looking into getting a car. I'm like, no you aren't, you drive a nice Buick. And he goes, yeah, but I don't know, I need to get rid of the pimp wagon. So I was like, okay, Josh, whatever. And so the next day, he calls me up and he's like, guess what I'm doing tomorrow? I'm like, what? Get a Mazda Miata. I have one, and I've been talking to the owner and all this stuff, and it's a really cool car. So I was like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. The next day, he calls me up. I'm driving to get my Mazda Miata. I'm like, no, you're not, Josh. There's no way that you're getting your Mazda Miata today, and there's no way that you made that quick of a decision. I end up driving down there because I'm in Lancaster and he's down in Riverside County. I end up driving down there and finding out he actually did buy a Mazda Miata. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning when I got there, and we ended up driving it around at some speed limits that were a little bit, or some speeds that were a little bit above the speed limit, and having quite a bit of fun with it at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then ended up going to sleep and thought that it was a dream. So the next morning I woke up and I went over to his house to see if it was not a dream, and it indeed wasn't a dream. So anyways, make a long story short, he's really in love with that car, and he's kind of shared the passion to me. So I'm wanting to get a Mazda Miata, which is a lightweight sports car. The first exotic car that I ever drove was a Lotus Elise. That's a lightweight sports car as well, and I've really just fallen in love with the art of the lightweight sports cars, because you don't have to have a lot of power to have a fun experience. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have a fun experience. Although getting a Lamborghini is cool, getting a Bugatti is kind of cool, but a lot of money doesn't equal a better experience. I've had such a great time in a $2,000 Miata and a $35,000 Lotus Elise. It doesn't take $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to put a smile on your face. But anyways, needless to say, I was reading through some articles on lightweight sports cars this past couple of days, and I came upon one today that I wanted to share with you guys. So obviously, when it comes to new cars, people do winter testing with them. They always will take them out on the track. They'll take them on the road. When it comes to sports cars, at least, they aren't doing that with Camrys or anything like that. But when it comes to sports cars, they'll take them out on the track. They'll take them on the road. You might have seen our Corvette our mid-engine Corvette video. And in that, we talk about the winter testing of the Corvette. That's the mid-engine, and how they were doing it, and some weird concept photos and stuff like that, new things that got updated. So if you guys want to see that, go ahead and click the information card up here. But anyways, they do winter testing when it comes to these any sports car, and the cars that we're going to talk about today are quite the same. So many of you guys know about the BMW Z4. The BMW Z4 has been around for quite some time. They're doing winter testing with the new BMW Z4, and it's got a couple changes, a little bit different bodywork, obviously, because it's a new car, and it's just spy shots. They don't have actual figures, so I'm not going to go tell you, oh, this thing has 7,000 horsepower or anything like that, because it doesn't, or at least we don't know if it does or not. But the cool thing is, when it came to this picture, there was the BMW Z4, and a completely different company was testing with them, which is quite interesting. I mean, we've been teased around with this company, which is Toyota. Toyota's testing out a new Supra in the winter. The BMW and the Toyota Supra were together, and I find that quite interesting because, I mean, there's not too many ties between Toyota and BMW, but I do find that quite interesting when it comes to it, because you're thinking, why is there a Toyota Supra or a Toyota FT1 or whatever you want to call it? We've been teased around with all these different names. you're thinking, why is there a Toyota Supra with a BMW Z4? And honestly, I don't have the answer for you. I can't tell you, oh, it's because there's this and this and this. Honestly, I really can't tell you. I just think that it's quite awesome that there's two lighter weight sports cars. I mean, the Supra isn't necessarily the lightest sports car, but it's not an Aventador that weighs a couple tons. It's a fairly lightweight sports car, and it's testing with a very lightweight sports car, something that's comparable to a Mazda Miata or a Honda S2000. It's testing with one of those, which I find quite interesting, because the new bodywork on this new Supra, I'm sure you guys have seen it before, and we'll give you some pictures up here as well. The new bodywork makes it look like a more lightweight sports car. It looks like the brand new MX-5, and along that lines. Now, obviously, we don't know when this is going into production, and I don't mean to keep rambling, but we don't know when this is going into production, but we do know that Toyota is not creating any more boring cars, according to what they released a couple of months ago. When they got rid of Scion, they said, we're not releasing any more boring cars. And with that said, I think that the Supra is coming out here in the next couple of years. Obviously, we're going to get a little bit more information on it here in the next few months, probably, with the winter testing happening and stuff like that. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. Go ahead and follow us on social media. Comment in the section below, what do you guys think about this new Supra? Obviously, the spy shots don't do it very much justice, but we'll go off the FT1. What do you guys think of the FT1 shots of the prototype? Would you get it? I would get it. I like the way that it looks. I've seen it in person. It's a beautiful car. It's got some beautiful body lines, and actually Lexus is creating that car. So that's what makes me think that Toyota is going to bring this car, the Supra, if you will. They're going to bring the Supra back. So I want to leave you guys on that note. Go ahead and comment below. Give it to our social media accounts. And on that note, have a great day, guys.